Hello, everybody, to the Fandom Flux podcast. Yay. I said the thing and actually said the name. Casey, hi. How's it going? I am boring and have nothing to talk about this week, except for the thing that we're going to talk about at the end of the episode, which is going to be the Avengers spoiler stuff that is at the end of the episode. We will give you warning so you can stop the video and just, you know, just go away, basically. But we will be spoiling and talking about the whole film and giving our thoughts on it, and Patient's sister's thoughts, who saw the film but he didn't. So, if you don't want to know about any of that, then just end the video when it comes up. With us, we've got basically everybody. We've got Ken.
Hi, I'm Kenji618. I'm so sorry, Bomber. I missed you last week. I love you, Bomber. I'm sorry.
I
was
gave him your
doing
best.
wrestling stuff. I was doing wrestling stuff. I'm sorry.
We got Zero.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
I don't think they want to dance. I think they're giving you the silent treatment, Zero. It's kind of rude.
They're all answering in my head.
Alarming.
That's, a little disconcerting. Slicer is here.
Hey, technology hates me.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And Patient is here.
Hello, everyone. I had a phone interview this morning that went quite well. Ready to move to the next stage. In-person interview.
Yeah. What's it for? Might as well ask.
Car dealership, CarMax. Quite reputable. Very heavy on integrity company. The kind of sales that I'd like to be doing. Though it's not in a sales position, an inventory position. A sort of tedious thing, keeping track of all the cars on the lot at the time, presenting them with the customers, that sort of thing. But at the same time, I have the patience for it.
And it's lower stress than what you're dealing with.
Well,
Yeah.
Well-
So you'd be kind of the assistant to make sure everything runs smoothly.
only problem is that it's on your feet 100% of the time, and I weigh over 100 pounds. So yeah.
Practice some strategic leaning.
Yeah, well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it also could help in just, makes you seem casual, friendly.
Yeah, that's fair. Though I'll be interacting mainly with fellow employees. Like I said, inventory position, more of the interior than exterior customer. Even so, though, my parents are encouraging it. Just being on my feet all that time isn't going to be unhealthy. My mother suggested just a new pair of shoes might help. And
Yes.
Yeah, no,
it does.
Get a good pair of shoes. Do not skimp on those.
100%.
Learn that the hard way at Walmart.
Yeah.
You're on your feet all the time. Get a good pair of shoes.
Yup.
Alright, fair enough. I honestly took a bit of time to decide whether to move with his permission. Probably at this point just going to call him back a bit later and say that I'd like to move forward. So
All right,
could I have since
I-
I've already started?
Yeah, I guess we'll go with Patient because he's started and I was curious. So.
Well, job searching has been much of what I've been doing the past week. Not a lot of people have gotten back to me. I had one interview in person the other day, but it was... Well, the company didn't have a lot of good reviews on something I hadn't heard of before. It advertised it as a purely commission pay, door-to-door soliciting company. And I've done that before. I don't want to go do it. No. But the person I interviewed with made a good enough impression. If they call me back for another interview, I'll keep going until... Did that come through?
More or
Yeah.
less.
I'm trying to think of, is soliciting a crime? Is
No.
their job description have a crime in it? Because I know there's areas where you can't do that.
Technically, it's only soliciting, trying to sell a product. If you're trying to advertise a product, it doesn't count as soliciting. I learned that distinction in my previous job.
Not to mention, I
Odd
think
legal gray
it's
area.
places have to notify, like there has to be usually there's a sign. That's where that comes from, of no soliciting.
And besides, from what I heard, I don't think soliciting is actually a crime. It's just common courtesy to obey if there's a no soliciting sign there.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
But I'm not sure how accurate this is.
Well, let's be real. It's as common courtesy as it is to not call someone that's on a no-call list. Not that
Yeah.
stops telemarketers. So
Nope, not at all. Yeah. I mean, at my previous job at the bank, we didn't even have a do not call list, despite people asking to be placed on it all the time.
been there, got threatened with lawsuits. It was the reason I stopped on my first day of that job. Yep.
Threatened with...
Yep. Apparently he had been called by our company a lot. So he was very, very mad, and it was a very bad thing to deal with on my first day of the job.
Yeah, that's not the kind of reputation you want your company to have.
No.
Alright, well, aside from that, been submitting applications here and there, and really that's been the highlight of my week. Just a bunch of job searching and otherwise just relaxing at home. Though we are making good progress on the next chapter of this Bites, although we're getting kind of dark for this chapter. I mean, considering the subject matter that we'll be covering.
Yeah, kind of hard to avoid that.
Quite. To be perfectly honest, I find that I thrive when we're touching on dark stuff.
Don't say it like that and then laugh.
It is morbidly entertaining just to touch into that sort of subject matter and then just tear away the instigators.
All right, Edgar Allan patient.
Good. Good reference. I like that.
Quoth the Hornet, nevermore. Classics references. Anyway.
So yeah, that chapter's coming along as it can. Zom is out of school now, but he's got a job, which is good.
Jabba.
But it's cutting in on the available time to work and available motivation. He seems to be the sort who wants to be engaged in doing something a bit more rather than sitting in place for 7 hours. I am content with sitting in the same place a full workday, but speaking as someone who's gone... Did I cut out there?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Speaking
as
as-
someone who's what?
Gone through a few slow days, more than a few even. Even if you do have a cell phone to keep you entertained, it does get a bit draining after a while, or nothing.
Yeah, phone will only keep you busy so long.
Yeah.
Even so, I would prefer sitting all day in the same place than standing all day in the same place.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I wouldn't be able to handle standing all day in the same place. My new job is going to have me moving a my new job. I'm getting way ahead of myself.
A little bit, but it's a good thing to be optimistic. You know,
Yeah.
walk in there like you already have the job.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe I was exaggerating that a little bit, but yeah. walk in with confidence, like you should get the job, is probably better.
Yes, that much is definitely fair. Confidence is key in something like this. Selling yourself is important. Okay, so was there anything else noteworthy? No, honestly, there hasn't been much going on for me this week. Just more of the same. Much of the same.
Nothing necessarily wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Alrighty. Ken, what have you got for us?
Huh? Oh, okay. Let's see. I did the wrestling things over the weekend. Same as
Yay.
usual. Nothing really sticks out about this week. Nothing weird happened. Mortal Kombat. I found my game. As in, I found the characters that I use.
Okay.
I was going to
So
say, I
you're
thought you
using-
already played Mortal Kombat, but yeah.
Yeah.
You found your main, basically.
Yeah. Number one, right at the top, big boss man, is Johnny Cage.
Yep.
He's
Dick
the
punches
main
for
man.
days.
I don't even use that move that much. But aside from him, number two would be Cabal. Speedy guy with hook swords.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
And number three is Kano. Because, he's Kano. He's Australian. He's cool.
Criminally insano, by the way, though.
Great. Got the little
Alright, yep.
cyborg guy.
I forgot about that song. I forgot about all of those songs. Yep.
So, yeah.
Do you have a number you wanted to hit when you can describe? Okay, how many characters you're good with? Do you have a number you want to go for, or?
I want enough where if I'm getting my ass beat, I can switch things up and make a difference.
Yeah.
Because the way things work is in ranked matches online, it's 2 out of 3, or it's 3 out of 5.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So you got to win like 2 out of 3 rounds, 3 out of 5 times to get an actual win.
Yeah, like, in Smash, for example, you want to have one character that's your main, and then you want to have at least, probably usually at most, actually, 2 in the pocket. That way, in case you have a hard counter to your main, you can just switch it up.
Yeah, it's actually Smash Brothers is what I'm familiar with in that context. So I was assuming it was going to be around 3, but I figured I'd ask since I'm not familiar with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, do that for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Play more Smash. I need to play more Smash.
We're not talking
I'll
about
find
Smash.
time for it. One day
We're not
I'll find
talking about Smash right
I
now.
know,
Shut the fuck
I
up
know.
about Smash.
I know.
Then I'll be silent for like an hour.
I'm sorry.
So I still like playing as Joker.
Good. He's a good character.
I'm just gonna mute you both and talk over you.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we played Mortal Kombat. I don't really think I have anything else. I didn't really do much of anything last week, honestly.
So they're really... Zero
Even-
Slicer, do you have anything substantial to talk about?
I do. Yeah.
I don't. Not really. I started playing Let It Die again because Warframe had a 1.7 gig update, and for me that's like 3 days.
Let's Let It Die again.
Janky Dark Souls in a
Oh,
post-apocalyptic.
the one where it's just like the free-to-play?
Yes, you climb the tower. It's free to play. There's Bro Death character.
Mhm.
When you
And
perform a
Death's on a
critical attack,
skateboard and
his
everything,
voice
yeah.
comes out of the controller, which is probably what you heard about 2 minutes ago.
Wait, Bro Death. Is this from the same guys that did Manual Samuel? Because that's.
Oh yeah, I watched Jax play that one.
I don't actually know.
Because that has a Death who's kind of a bro, and he kind of talks like this for some reason. And he has a skateboard and is obsessed with doing a kickflip, but he can't.
Grasshopper Manufacturer?
Yeah. It's Grasshopper. Same guys as do, the No More Heroes.
And Super Trick Games. Those are the 2 that made it.
And you do anything else substantial, or?
No, that was it. That is all I've done in the past 5 days. My
Okay.
girlfriend's family is out of town, so I've been spending time at her place. So that's been fun.
So,
Nope, different company. Just checked.
yeah. So my week's been eventful. I got an email the other day
Mm-hmm.
regarding my application to enter the teacher credentialing program.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get in.
Oh,
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
So I can only apply to that at that school once a year. There were a lot more applicants than usual this time around, and a lot of them were far more experienced in terms of working in schools for like years. Actually, like working in schools, just not being teachers. And it's like, how am I supposed to compete with that when I just got my degree?
Mm.
You're doing really well.
I did interview, and I did a really good job. But again, it's just like, oh yeah, I've been working in a Title I school for 3 years now, and I'm like, what do I do with that? How do I? Yeah. So that sucks.
Mm. Are there other places you could apply or anything?
Yes, there are. I'm looking at options. At this point, my whole faith in whether or not I'm not sure I even want to be a teacher now. At this point, I'm just trying to consider my options and where I want to go with my life. So, figuring that out is gonna take some time. I have a degree, so there's that. But yeah, that just happened yesterday. So, kind of just I was about playing Smash with some friends, and I got the email, and then I just stopped playing Smash. So,
I'm
dealing with
sorry,
that right
dude.
now. Thanks. Rejection is not a good feeling.
No.
No. Hopefully you can get to the bottom of that. It's not a fun place to be in.
Considering how much effort I had to put into to just make the application and how many different sources and documents I had to put together, and I had to contact multiple people for references, and so yeah.
Yeah, I had to contact a lot of references for the job I have now, and at the very least, I mean, you have those on hand now, so you can use those for other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about everything. We'll see how this goes. In slightly happier news, I guess.
That slightly is a little worrying, but okay.
Slightly okay. Yeah, I'm understanding it. And so, you know the Detective Pikachu movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds retweeted
Yep.
the whole it's leaked. The whole movie is leaked onto YouTube,
Yep.
and you look, and it's just an hour and a half of Pikachu dancing,
Yep.
Wow.
made to look like it's a fake leak, like it's a leak and everything, and it's amazing.
You know what? I bookmarked that shit so that I can watch it later. It's a pretty good dance.
He's a great person to get for your marketing. For like, if you get him in any movie, he's excited about. He's going to just talk about it nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I watched a new anime recently, Isekai Quartet.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, the casts of Saga of Tanya the Evil, Overlord, Konosuba, and ReZero are all transported to this gag comedy classroom, basically.
What?
Yeah, so all these characters are now in the same world and are forced to attend class together, and it's hilarious.
They made an isekai crossover?
Yes, it's an isekai crossover.
An isekai, if you will.
It's so great. And so
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm totally cross-eyed right now from just trying to process that entire concept.
so you have things like Aqua trying to purify Ainz with her turn undead, and yeah, it's great. So I'm gonna highly recommend Isekai Quartet if you've seen those 4 shows, the good Isekai. Getting crossover is nice. Casey's just like having an aneurysm right now.
Yep.
And they're all chibi and everything is great.
You know what? I don't get to judge. I've technically written 2 isekais, so that's fine. All right, isekai, whatever. It's a genre now. Just fucking do it. I don't care anymore.
It's a gag crossover. I don't see what the problem with that is.
Yeah.
It's silly 11-minute episodes.
I was actually curious how long they were, so that's kind of.
Yeah. Just like hey, you need to feel a little bit better? Just watch one of these. I'm like, yay, thanks.
Wasn't one of them a Nazi?
No, World War I Germany, not World War II.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if Tanya the Evil was World War II, it would be a much more evil show than it actually is.
Yeah.
But as it stands, no, it's World War I. Specifically, because I don't want to watch anime Hitler be portrayed as a good guy.
Again.
So aside from that, after I'd gotten the news the other day, friend came over and we hung out, played some Smash Bros. I am really I always have a lot of fun playing Zelda because she's so much better in this game than every other game in the series. It's nuts. Freaking, I can teleport and then stay in the same place and hit you, and it's great. Aside from that, I played Katana ZERO to completion. That's a good game.
Well, of course you would think so.
Yeah, I get it. But Katana ZERO, it's on PC and Switch. It's a side-scrolling, sprite art-based game where it's a little like Hotline Miami in terms of open doors when enemies near it, kill them. Every hit you make to an enemy will kill them. You can throw items, kill them, and if you get hit once, you die. But also, your character, like the way it's portrayed is your runs in a level are not you actually making the run. It's you seeing the future and saying, no, that won't work. Or no, that won't work. Or yes, that will work when you get the perfect run. And then your character, it does a playback of your character actually doing it, which I really like. And you have the ability to slow time with like a meter. And you can deflect bullets with your sword. It's really good. And the storytelling as well, I'm really impressed by. Has dialogue options that feel like they matter. And yeah, it tells a very good story. I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to spoil it. But Katana ZERO, $15 on Switch, probably the same amount on PC. Check it out when you get the chance.
Cool.
Aside from that,
It sounds kind of like Super Hot.
Kinda, but like not first person. And yeah, there's some really cool stuff you can do in that game. Like, I recommend you just look at some footage of that because it is really stylish and the music is actually really good. Kind of a whole cyberpunk assassin character you're playing. But he's also like a samurai, kind of, or at least dressed like one. there's a scene where you have to get into this hotel, and you go up to the lady, and she's like, "Well, you're just weird," and you can just tell her to shut up and just let you go past. Or you can just say it's cosplay. It's like, oh, really? What character from this series like just made up? You make up a series. It's like, wow, really? Hey, I don't really have many friends who watch anime. Do you want to watch anime together later? It's like, yeah, maybe. And then you come back on your way down, and the guard's like, hold on, you're covered in blood. What is this? And you're just like, it's cosplay. And there's such this lady is like, yeah, no, he's cosplaying the character from that. It's great.
I would feel so bad about that, but okay.
And she shows
That
up
lady's
later.
gonna get fired or arrested. It's so bad. Anyway, anything else?
If you do a good job if you do the cosplay excuse, she will show up later and then say, "Hey, you want to watch anime together later?" But yeah, that's about it for my week. Some fun stuff and something that is probably life changing. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. I guess that's it for everyone. I had nothing. I didn't actually go, but I have nothing. Stuff.
Hey, it's okay.
All right.
So, okay. I said I'd give a warning, and we're not there yet. Recommendations? Anyone?
No.
Katana ZERO and Isekai Quartet.
Yeah, you write this down.
Zero, Give me the
Yeah.
links. Give me the fucking links. That's your job.
Okay,
Yeah, Zero. Get to it.
we'll get to it.
Patient,
Chop,
you got
chop.
anything?
1 second. You asked for the links. There's dimensional links. Multi Legend of Zelda crossover where Link meets Link. Not really a recommendation, but
You just wanted to make the joke, didn't you?
of course I did.
Yep.
What do you take me for?
That's fair enough. I cannot blame you.
So, spoilers for Avengers Endgame, it's still a shit name for the film, will be incoming. I'm going to give it a 5 count. You have until I get to 0 to avoid the spoilers by closing the window or shutting the video. I don't fucking just go away, basically. 5, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2, 1, 0.
1, 0. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
an
why
asshole.
are you chatting with him?
Yeah.
I want to be
Why,
counting.
why did you jump the gun? That was Okay.
Iron Man dies. There you go.
Yeah.
We start.
Okay. So, this film was good.
It was okay.
Yeah. It's
I liked it a lot.
I did too. I have the opinion that Infinity War was better, but
Yes.
that was because it had to set the table for this.
Infinity War had an arc. This one just had the end of an arc.
This
And-
was a
Yeah.
great experience. It was kind of a middling movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, it for people who have been following the MCU from the start and have watched all the movies, this is pure catharsis.
It's catharsis with a hefty dollop of fan service of the, people
Yeah,
that
that's-
really enjoy it will like this stuff kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not the other kind of fan service.
And as somebody who has seen all the movies, I came away really happy with this. I really like how they wrapped up a lot of the character arcs. One thing I was really not happy with was how they treated Hulk.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either, to be honest.
They had to retire him basically because they can't really do anything with him.
He's Professor Hulk now. We never got to see him become Professor Hulk, which is disappointing.
Yep.
Now he's crippled Professor Hulk.
And yeah, now he's crippled. Oh, I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Nothing. He's done.
Did I miss something at the end of that film? How is he crippled?
Infinity Gauntlet ruined his arm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Wait,
he's going to come back. He might come
I
back.
mean,
He's not
I
coming back.
assumed that would heal. The Hulk has a healing factor.
Yeah, Hulk does regenerate pretty quickly, so he might come back.
If
but
he was going to heal, he would have healed way quicker than, you know.
it's been about, like, the movie takes place over the span of a few days. Well, there's a 5-year time skip, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's only been about a day since the whole thing. But I really like what they did with Captain America. I know people are complaining about stuff with this movie, but I feel like he earned the ending that he got.
I like the scene that directly follows the time skip, where it's Captain America basically doing what is effectively veterans counseling for basically anyone that wants to show up, survivors.
Survivors of the snapping.
Yeah. That was great. Just as a choice for what to do with him after that happens and he puts his experiences to use. So that was a nice touch.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot.
Also, that it doesn't really help or fix anything, which, you know,
Yeah.
it helps, but it doesn't fix anything, is generally the consensus for that kind of counseling. It's just a way to vent and talk and get advice and just to keep moving forward. And that's, yeah, good job. Good thought, good idea. Good use of the character and their history.
Yeah. I was very happy with how Captain America was handled in this film. There were lots of moments of him kind of looking back at the past and kind of coming to this realization that, you know, he can't really ignore it and move forward. And when it comes to the end and he goes back, that's a choice that I feel, given the arc he's taken, that he would have done, because you know it just feels so good after the end of the first Captain America movie where he says, "I have a date," and then just cuts to black, or "I had a date," and it's just like, yeah, you go back, you get that.
Yeah. It feels like he's being selfish for probably the first time in his entire characterization.
Yeah.
But it's earned selfishness.
Actually, on that note, I really appreciate that it is selfishness. He was never portrayed as not fitting in modern times, aside from maybe for gags, but he wasn't unwelcome in present time. He chose to go to the past and stay there. So yeah, it was a selfish moment, and I appreciate seeing that. There was a lot of character development in this movie, which I shouldn't be surprised about. I mean, it was 3 hours long.
Bear in mind that all of this is going off my sister said, not mine. I didn't see the film. I don't have an opinion either way. But she's inclined to disagree.
Why?
I'm
Just
curious.
because. At the end, when he returned, returned in time to put back the stones, she thinks that it didn't make any sense with how they established time travel, and they gave no explanation on it, and B, after his character development, he had led all of these people. He had reunited with his best friend, and then he left them all behind and left to grow old with someone that he had met as an old woman, attended her funeral, unknowingly kissed her daughter, and that woman had already been together with someone else, with a child, in
Here's the thing.
in life, and he still went back and changed her life like that.
Here's the thing. One, the woman he met as an old woman, that was the woman from his first film that was in the 40s. Presumably, he went back and retconned the timeline so that that other guy that she was with was him. Presumably.
Well, yeah. Also, the time travel thing doesn't make sense initially, but there is a way he could have managed it, and I've had it explained to me before, and it does make sense.
And there is
It's
also an
just kind
explanation.
of a
There's also an explanation that the thing that makes what I can't remember her name, Doctor Strange's master,
The Ancient One.
Ancient One said was specifically what in this world what creates the different timelines is when you remove the Infinity Stones. So when you put back all the Infinity Stones, it's still a stable timeline, and that's how their multiverse kind of works. It's tied to the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. So as long as they're in the right place, as long as they continue to exist where they should, everything is still one universe. Except it isn't because the Spider-Man trailer. But I assume we're going to be dealing with the fallout of that particular decision for quite a few films, basically.
Yeah.
what him staying in the past.
Yeah. Also, the whole Loki is now elsewhere thing.
Tune into the Loki TV show.
I don't think Steve going back really did anything because, like you said before, we knew Peggy was married to some dude. We never see who the dude is. That's probably Steve. So
It's likely that he was always there.
yeah, it's like he was always there, just not Captain America anymore because it's fucking old.
He might have been helping people as a civilian, but yeah.
Okay, that's a fair enough point. I might bring that up with her. There was one other gripe she had. They kept on saying a soul for a soul regards the soul stone, so why didn't Natasha come back when they returned the soul stone?
You can't.
take
Because that
backs.
already. Yeah, you can't take it back.
It's that's what Hawkeye says is, yeah, no, she's gone. Like, yeah. You can't just say, I want to get back the Soul Stone, bring back the person I traded. I don't think it works like that. They're already dead.
Yeah, I think the idea is not even dead. This is sort of a soul for a soul. You're giving up her soul. Though Gamora came back.
But
No, she didn't.
No.
Yeah, that was past Gamora. The Gamora we know
And then
from the movies is gone.
And then after Thanos got snapped away, she got ashed to like the rest of everyone else. That
Did
came
she?
Back, who was
Okay.
supposed to, yeah.
No, she did not, actually.
Didn't? Okay, yeah. Time travel, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens.
The element of time travel makes things murky.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The
And-
Gamora that we still have is the one from the past. So
Yes. So they
essentially the Gamora we've been seeing this whole time is.
Can I just say I like that? This movie has consequences that matter, which is something everybody was scared of. Was like, oh no, they're just gonna do everything; it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Gamora is basically a different person, and is much closer to being the badass original Gamora than the Gamora we were getting.
I mean, this was her from before even the first Guardians movie. So
Yeah.
she's
Yup.
technically still a bad guy.
Yeah, so I'm very interested to see how they develop that in the next Guardians movie.
I also want Thor in the next Guardians movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I
it's
think
gonna
they're
be-
setting that up for that.
Fat Thor.
I like that. That's going to be a good thing. I don't like that they basically reset his entire character arc. He's back to being dumb schmuck warrior Thor that he was in the first Thor
I
film.
disagree.
But it's not like that mentality is gone anywhere. He's
Well,
choosing
like,
to act like that now.
The whole arc of Thor was him being regular Thor, realizing he needs to be more than that, needs to be worthy of being a king. And then this film says, I should stop being what I'm supposed to be and start being who I am. That's basically saying I need to stop growing as a person.
No.
I did pick up on that, actually. That's a really bad mindset to be in, but
With
yeah.
Thor original, he was kind of this egotistical, immature kid with a big hammer who ran around being like, yeah, I'm totally just going to be king and it's going to be great. And then he found out, what it means to be worthy and to sacrifice for other people. And as it progresses, he loses so much and realizes that he probably should try to find out exactly who he is as a person. And I think that works out because, trying to be a king didn't really work out for him. So trying to find that kind of because he says to
it worked
Valkyrie,
out for him fine until he was traumatized. Is the thing?
yeah, but
which...
I think he this is he needs to kind of, it's gonna be a little bit mean to say get over, but he does need to kind of get over and deal with that trauma and process that and find out who he is right now.
Being a king did not work out for him. Being a king got his entire homeworld destroyed and half his people that survived that killed on a ship.
I'd be hard-pressed to blame him for any of that, but okay.
He blames himself for it. He was king.
Yeah, and his arc up until now has never been about finding out who he is as a person. It's always been trying to be worthy, trying to be a king, and even then when he gave up being king, and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for this yet. He came back and he thought he was ready and he wasn't.
It's the Henriade, though. That's what this is. This is Henry the Fourth, parts 1 and 2, and Henry the Fifth. This is the entirety of Thor's. It's not a coincidence that Kenneth Branagh, the guy that did a full cut of Hamlet as a film, directed Thor, and it turns out to be basically Shakespeare plays throughout the entire trilogy. So that's what Thor's arc was intended to be, and then they just decided to just kind of chuck all of it away, and that bothers me. It's like saying Henry V just decides to say fuck it and just rocks up to Falstaff and goes, hey, let's just screw around and get drunk again. I missed that. Let's go back to that. And no. Character growth and development. It bothers me.
He didn't just go to yes, he went to that. He fell from grace, and he ended up as this kind of drunk slob. But throughout the movie, you see him start to come to terms with what's happened, what is done, and it's him getting back up on his feet. And that's why I'm really interested to see the next Guardians, because I want to see where they take Thor from here, because I feel like it's not a reset of his character arc. It's he fell from grace and now he's coming back to kind of get back to a new sort of state of who he really is and who he's going to be. So I disagree with that whole argument of resetting his character arc, because I think it's progress. It's human stuff. We take steps back, and sometimes we got to just get back up on our feet and start taking steps forward. It might be in a different direction.
Nope, still hate it. But, yeah, so what other things? We haven't talked about Iron Man and all so far, except for the first sentence that Slicer said.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
What a
but,
way. What a way to go.
Yeah. If there was ever a way to go,
That's
that
one.
that pretty good one.
I wonder if they did the ad-libbing thing for his death scene as well.
I don't know.
Because that was the whole thing for Spider-Man in Infinity War, was they just ad-libbed that whole scene, and it came out great. I wonder if they did that for this one as well, where he just didn't say anything.
I'm curious actually because I didn't really like his last words, to be honest. It felt kind of limp. I get that it's significant. It ties up the kind of bookends his initial coming out as Iron Man, but it feels kind of weird. Those are not the words you should have said there.
What should he have said?
Oh shit, this is really gonna
I
hurt.
I don't know, and that's the problem.
Like, it's...
Also, why did it kill him?
Because it
They said it would
They've
kill
established
anybody.
it takes a lot of power to handle the stones, and that glove was not really built the same way as the original that Thanos had, that was designed to take that. Hulk did it because he's Hulk. Tony Stark is not Hulk, basically.
He's just a man. It was established that it would kill him if he tried.
Yeah,
And he tried.
Hulk had a get out of jail free because it was quote unquote gamma radiation, and he doesn't care so much about that.
I guess I'm just not much of a fan of Disney death. Because he didn't...
That wasn't really a
look-
Disney death. He died on camera.
No, I mean in the sense that someone does not look injured or damaged in any way, and yet they die.
what?
Did you not? I've seen the movie twice. He looks really bad.
His entire
Yeah,
right
look-
side is crispy.
He looks bad, but not worse
He is
than anyone
burnt
else.
to a crisp, and also like you can see his veins. He's looking real bad. You
I
just
feel
can't see
like
most
if
of the
he-
injuries because he's wearing
if
armor.
he wasn't wearing the Iron Man suit, you would not want to see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
Also,
His entire
again,
right arm is just basically burnt to a crisp.
radiation was the thing that killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that makes more sense. Okay, fair
Which was
enough.
established. So
Yeah.
I like the line that Pepper says to him,
What?
which is like, "We're safe. You can rest now. We're gonna be okay." And that calls back to an earlier line in the film where he's like, "I could just throw all this time machine stuff out into the lake and go to sleep." And she says, "But would you be able to rest?" It's kind of
I
calling
didn't
back
catch
of
that.
like, now you
Yeah,
can
me neither,
rest.
actually. That's pretty good.
I recommend multiple viewings of this movie because there's so much stuff hidden throughout it that I just love. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do because, like, Iron Man has a daughter.
She's 5.
She's 5. This franchise is not going to end anytime soon. One day we'll get a new Iron Man
That'd
at
be
some
weird
point.
if we have characters actually age out of being superheroes.
Yeah. Ant-Man. What's up, regular-sized man?
What about Ant-Man?
Yeah,
I liked-
mean that's
I liked-
basically how the film treats him. What about
I liked
Ant-Man?
Ant-Man in this movie a lot. He was
I
so
did
funny.
too, but still. Like,
He's just like, okay, Ant-Man, you know what? You're a baby now. He's just great. Like, way to, yeah.
He was great in this movie, but I mean, I don't feel like he's really hitting audiences as well as. So nobody cares. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter how
I
well he
care
does.
about
Nobody
Ant-Man.
cares.
I think they're very self-aware about that fact, though, that people just aren't really.
I care when he lost his taco and Hulk gave him 2 tacos.
That was a nice moment. That's, Banner being Banner, just being a cool dude.
I'm just
Fucking-
gonna kind of going through the characters in my head.
Hawkeye. I almost cried in that first scene.
That was bad. That was like up.
Yeah. He never even saw it.
I thought it was just going to be the daughter, and it's all of them.
I knew it was all of them.
Yeah,
He never saw them go.
Yep.
That's the worst part.
You imagine like fucking trying to figure that shit out for 3 days, and then it's like, hey, everyone on Earth is gone because it's Thanos, dude.
So
I don't know if you guys saw it, but when the daughter first disappears, you can actually see the dust floating in the way in the
Yeah.
wind.
yeah,
It's really
you can see the
fucked
dust.
up.
You can see the dust for all of them.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yes, it's pretty tragic. On that note, I like Hawkeye in this movie a lot.
I've
What's
always
your
liked
guys'
Hawkeye.
thoughts? Yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on the whole Hawkeye and Natasha race to die?
I think that fit their characters pretty damn perfectly.
In that
Both
moment,
of them
yeah.
had kind of a death wish.
Like, if his family was still alive, Hawkeye would not have even thought about doing it. But
No, I think he would have because he's been killing people for like 5 years, like murdering fuckers,
There's
like that.
and those people are
There's
still
also-
dead, by the way.
I've seen lots of people online upset that it was Black Widow who died, but there's a line that she says to Hawkeye that kind of calls back to the whole nature of the relationship of these two, which is, he's like, I've done a lot of bad, and she basically says, yeah, well, so did I,
Yeah, got a lot
And
of red in my ledger, I think was the phrase.
and you gave me a chance to make things right. And it's just like, I'm paraphrasing here, but that's the nature of the relationship. Even though that she was an assassin, she did a lot of bad things, she killed a lot of people, he still worked with her and he still was good friends with her.
Yeah, and he was just, ordinary dude that became a spy.
Age of Ultron, Hawkeye is peak Hawkeye.
And then their roles reversed, and he was the assassin and she was the one trying to do all the good. And to which she says, like, it's time for me to return the favor. And I think that's a good way to close out her character arc.
Yeah, character-wise, it was great. The optics for it, I can imagine, are pretty bad. Of, hey,
Yeah.
look at all these dudes and one girl. Ooh, looks like the girl died. Whoops.
I've heard the word misogyny thrown around a lot.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Speaking
On Twitter.
of women, how obvious was that scene in the big battle where all the women were lining
that
up?
was
and
their walking it back, is what that was. That was, hey, we killed the only female main character. Maybe we should have some female empowerment here also. Just as a thought. Fucking Christ. I wish they were a little less obvious about it, but yes.
Yeah, it was way overt. It's like, who can help Captain Marvel? Only all the girls.
All of the women specifically. Just this once. Christ.
That you could have done without that one shot and just have them showing up to help her as she's running, and that would have been perfectly fine.
that would have made it so much better, honestly.
It's just that one shot.
The big build-up was just like, come on, this is just stupid. This is so obvious.
But yeah, I like what they did with Hawkeye and Black Widow, because I feel like that fit their character arcs, and it fit who their characters were established by this point in the movies. Sad to see characters go, obviously, but
I mean, if there was ever a movie to have a lot of... They could have had way more characters.
They could have
die,
had
and I
way
would have been
more.
Okay with it.
Yeah. Like, we know how many of the actors wanted to just kind of jump ship, like they were done with this. They were tired of being in incredible shape all of the time. Some of those they got around in creative ways, others they just killed off. Like,
there's likely not going to be any Thor movies except for maybe there's a Ragnarok 2 in the works, I believe.
Well, here's the thing. They can do more Thor movies, and he doesn't have to be in perfect shape all the time, which is the big demerit for the role.
Like, I imagine he'll be getting into shape in the next Guardians movie.
Yeah, but he's probably going to end up with, like, dad bod or something, and just have a bit of a gut as well as the muscle underneath it.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth doesn't have to do anything. He's always in good shape. He just doesn't have to be super fucking Greek god jacked.
Yeah.
Can I just say I really liked that whole moment where it's just like all of the Avengers. Because there's that shot where it's Cap versus with like the light behind him, and then like an entire army of Thanos' people, and then just like Doctor Strange portal starts opening up, and all of every single character from every movie that's not dead permanently shows up,
including Howard the fucking Duck.
Yep,
what?
He was there. He was hidden, but he was there. You have the Asgardians. They show up in their full armor as well. I noticed. All the wizards from Doctor Strange's movie. Everybody.
Although that does beg the question: how many people died in this battle? That's really going to kind of fuck up the timeline a little, because these people still had their own conflicts to deal with.
No one important died. Don't worry about it, Slicer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That wasn't sensitive of me.
And
Guardians.
Just, yeah.
What do we think of the Guardians? I mean, Rocket is being Rocket, and that's pretty ordinary. And
I like
Groot
Rocket.
is basically not there.
Groot gets nothing. Peter,
except for the
Quill.
joke of your other options were a marsupial and a tree. That was pretty funny.
Peter Quill doesn't get a lot out of there. Nebula.
She was
I like
great.
Nebula.
I
She was
love
amazing.
Karen Gillian, and I'm glad to see her in more things. Like, I miss her.
This is
in
very
Doctor
much
Who. I
a
miss her in
Nebula
everything.
movie.
I was
I'm fine
actually
with that.
pretty happy to see that. I mean, the Guardians movies were basically Gamora's show, so
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Nebula's going to be a key member of the Guardians going forward.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be no Gamora for a while. At least.
We're not sure about that. Like, you say she's dead.
No, I mean, like, I'm not saying dead. She's out there. Past Gamora probably is. Because at the end, Peter Quill is searching for her.
Time travel. Fuck. But yeah, blue is better than green. Just
blue is better than green.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's a stance. Okay.
Yeah, Guardians didn't really get to do much, but that's okay. They got a much bigger role in the last movie. With some really hilarious scenes.
And with Peter Quill fucking everything up. Yeah, also.
It was in character.
Don't worry, he's not leader anymore.
we did.
I feel like they put Thor and him together specifically so they can have more scenes like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a much shallower well than they think it is, though. So I hope that doesn't get too annoying.
I think it's a lot deeper than you think it is.
We did talk about why Peter did what he did in Infinity War, though, right?
Yes.
That was the entire arc of his character, was get angry, punch things, fixes the problem. So
yeah, and then it didn't. I'm really interested to see how, because they got James Gunn back for Guardians 3.
They did.
I saw that.
So I want to see how he handles that. Because that's going to have repercussions on Peter. Just like Thor missing the head had repercussions on him. Probably not to the same extent, but...
When does this place take place after Endgame, though? When does Guardians 3 take place?
After.
Yeah,
okay.
they're pretty much in chronological order, except for Captain America 1. So.
The only one that wasn't in chronological...
Oh, and Captain Marvel as well.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. Yeah, I was about to say. Also, when Captain America freaking got Mjolnir, I was so happy.
That was a really good scene there for like 30 straight seconds of just ass kicking.
It's like, and Thor's just like, I knew it.
I'm glad he wasn't upset about it.
Yeah.
He was upset
That
in
really-
Age of Ultron, but he's grown as a character to the point where he's just happy and supportive.
Exactly. So I really appreciate that show of character growth where he's happy about it. He's not like, oh, how dare you take my hammer. But then later we get that scene where he's like, no, you take the small one. This is mine. And that is perfect. I love that.
But like Cap hitting the hammer against the shield in like midair and like doing all these crazy freaking fighting game combos on Thanos. It's amazing.
Yeah, if there's one thing to be said about that last scene, there was too much in it, because you cannot just take in everything that's happening in that big fight scene at the end.
It's why I saw it twice.
I actually had that thought in the moment. When the two forces were clashing right away, I'm like, I need to see this like 3 or 4 times to get all of this. There's so much here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, the time travel shenanigans had some really great moments. That's America's ass.
That was pretty good, actually.
I forgot about that.
Every
Or when Tony went back in time and got to talk to his dad
Yeah.
before his dad became a horrible person.
Was he ever
Entire
horrible,
opening.
though?
They did the entire opening. scene.
He wasn't really a
The
horrible
entire
person.
opening
He
scene
was
of
a
Guardians of the
shit
Galaxy
dad,
with
was the thing.
Yeah, he wasn't a great dad, but you got to talk to him that early, and that was nice. Also, yeah, the whole, like, we're gonna do the Guardians one scene and then interrupt it by knocking Quill out.
the entire scene with no music.
And the entire scene with no
Yeah.
music, it's just like, hey, he's singing. It's like, really? It's so fun seeing everything from, like, or Hulk hates stairs.
There was a lot in this movie that was fan service. It was just it was something for the fans.
Yeah.
Thank you for rewarding me for following all these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I watched Thor 2, I was like, I know Thor 2, but hearing Thor explain drunkenly the Dark Elves is great.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, that's about how everyone remembers that film. In fairness, there was these guys, and they were bad guys, and there
And
was
this is Jay.
this
We were
stone,
together before
Yeah.
we broke up.
and it's more like a goop, and it went in her, and
I need to watch that movie again so I can laugh at it.
yeah.
It's just like, okay, thanks, Thor. I was happy to see Spider-Man come back, even though I knew he was going to come back. But like just seeing him come back and then hug Tony, and then everybody protect the Spider-Man, and as he tries to take the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's like activate instant kill mode, and he just starts racking up a body count.
That was to the degree where he gets buried under all the bodies.
There's
Like,
so
holy
many
Jesus,
amazing,
Tony.
fun, good moments in this movie that I think people forget.
There's a lot there. I mean, the movie's so full of stuff, which again is not surprising. It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's full of stuff, which is, it's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. It's a lot to take in one go, which gets fatiguing. That's a problem with the film. But
I had to go to the
it's a
bathroom
good
so
problem
bad.
to have, I guess.
I had to go to the
For a
bathroom so
finale,
bad during
if
my
this was
first viewing.
just if there was a 3-hour long just Marvel movie, and it wasn't the finale, I think it would have went over worse. Because, that's a
So
lot.
I
of
recommend, obviously see this movie multiple times because there's so much stuff hidden in it that you can find. It's a really dense movie, and it's also very long. And I think a lot of the people who walk out of it, and then because I've seen some people who just tons of people complaining about the movie, and I feel like there's a lot they're not considering with some of their complaints, because there are valid complaints. There are some that I don't feel are. I like Infinity War a lot. I'm not sure whether I like Endgame or Infinity War more, but I like them both a lot. And man, that new Spider-Man movie is coming out in like a month.
Oh God,
or
is
two.
it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's coming out July 2nd. So like a little less than 2 months.
Okay,
And
so
the trailer-
that's when it's coming out for you. When's it actually coming out?
And the trailer for it is the trailer for it dropped the other day. I didn't talk about it during the regular podcast because it starts with hey, you haven't seen Endgame, there's spoilers.
It's literally Tom Holland talking at the camera. Hey, if you haven't seen it yet, you should probably go. He's very British, by the way. You should go and see that first, and then come back and watch the trailer. Yeah, all right. Which I didn't know he was English. It was very
Yeah.
surprising.
So yeah, it's trying to deal with a world without Iron Man, and then Mysterio comes in and he's like, ooh, the snap created the multiverse and I'm from a different Earth. So I got theories.
I don't believe him.
Yeah. It's Mysterio,
Yeah.
the guy whose entire gimmick is. And, well, Nick Fury is back. He's been out of the game for 5 years.
Well, he hasn't really. He's just been, dead.
Yeah, but he's been dead for 5 years. There's a lot he needs to catch up on.
There's a lot that everyone
Oh,
needs to
yeah.
catch up on, in fairness.
So, I don't know if this Mysterio is... It could be a Mysterio from an alternate Earth who's actually a good guy, but then that Mysterio gets killed and then gets replaced by the bad guy equivalent.
Or he's a good guy Mysterio from that Earth, and then he gets, the multiverse gets closed, and then he's trapped there. He's like, no, this, no, and then he becomes a bad guy.
Because it looks like this character is going to try to be like a mentor figure to Peter, which is why it's going to hurt when Peter has to fight them.
That tends to happen a lot for Spider-Man.
Yes, it does. It's great.
He really does not have good luck with anything.
Fucking
With
Peach Plot
anything.
was amazing.
Yep. So I'm excited for that. Like, yeah, way to pull me back in, Marvel.
Yeah, I could have comfortably stopped after Endgame.
Yes.
It's a comfortable stopping point, which I think is kind of intended. But yeah, it's good to see they still have good things coming for feature films. Yeah.
It's the difference between, there's a good stopping point in Bleach, right?
Yeah.
But then the next arc is garbage. So the fact that this movie seems like it will be good, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they're going to do.
I'm going to be honest. I am patiently waiting for all of the films to be on an on-demand service. A single on-demand service, please. And just being able to binge them from start to finish.
Disney Plus or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just gonna get the Blu-ray box set. It's the only time I've ever done that, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, funnily enough, Blu-ray box sets are surprisingly the best place to get just a single thing in one package. Go figure.
So, there are 2 Marvel movies that are slated to come out next year. I don't know what they are. Probably one of them is Guardians, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was going to say Guardians.
And probably sequel for Doctor Strange.
I'd be down for that.
Because we do know that there is going to be a Black Panther 2, a Doctor Strange 2, New Guardians. So, we'll see.
Listen, dude, I'm not speculating on nothing. I'm just gonna sit back and take my hands off the wheel.
Yeah.
Like a Fight Club.
You know
let
what?
it ride.
Yeah, that's a good mentality to that. Like,
You've got 10 years of goodwill with me,
Yeah.
except
Yeah,
for
you've got a lot of
Thor 2.
goodwill.
Except for Thor 2. Other than that,
Yeah.
we're good.
I think at this point it's safe to just, cool down on the incredible investment of time and energy into paying attention to all this stuff. Just let the film sort of just, if you want to see it, go see it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You gave me a 10-year timeline, linear. I'm good. Got my
The
trust.
best thing about film as opposed to comics is there always, like, with the MCU, there has to be progress.
Yeah.
Characters have to get older.
That is the best thing about this film. When they brought up time travel, I thought they were going to set it up as, okay, we go back, we stop the snap from happening. That's what I thought was going to do. And they didn't do it. And I am so happy they didn't. 5 years have passed. That is a thing that happened, and there is no one doing it.
Yeah. Whereas comics, it's like, yeah, no, we're just going to reset everything. You can't do that. You can't reboot the entire MCU.
Watch me.
No, don't!
Watch DC. Watch DC do it several times.
DC has to reboot. That's the difference.
Yeah. Poor fuckers.
Shazam was good, though. Shazam will save them.
I'm
I
not
haven't
even
actually
talking.
seen Shazam. Is it worth seeing?
It's
Yes.
okay.
I like it.
I will say though, I am happy I saw this movie in the theaters.
Yes.
I feel like this was a much better experience in the theater instead of seeing it for the first time on my TV.
Okay.
Even as massive as my TV is,
First time I saw it, the audience was just like dead silent the entire time. So,
Lucky you.
second time, everybody was much more reacting, except there was that one kid who just had to say really loudly, like really dumb things that was annoying.
Was that on your first viewing though?
Second viewing.
Okay, so I mean that's not as bad.
It's not as bad, but it was annoying.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the disclaimer that was on, I don't fucking know, Reddit or something. That was like, hey, if you can't keep your kid quiet for 3 hours, don't fucking come.
Which I can agree with, honestly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, baby cried in the theater when I was there.
Ugh. Why would you take a baby?
I don't know. Saturday night too. So
Look, we have this baby. We need to see this. No babysitter will take our baby because our baby is that loud. It's the
Then
only
don't
option.
go. You don't deserve to see this movie or go to theaters at all if that's your situation.
Yeah, I guess. Is there any? I'm gonna regret asking this. Are there any other characters that need to be mentioned as standing out?
I'm thinking. Because
no.
None really comes
Captain
to
Marvel
mind.
was basically nothing for the film.
Captain Marvel got a haircut.
She was there to not make it the Thor show. Or in this case, Captain America and Thor. I guess. I don't know. It was just
I
there
like
to be
I
on
like
top
the
of it.
explanation of the snap happened to everybody. I got other places I gotta be.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
a
it,
fair
makes
explanation.
Yeah.
I like her characterization in this movie a lot. Of just like, you guys are cool and all, but there's other places out there that need a hero. And she's very like, I'm gonna go kill Thanos. By the way, can we just talk about that? Like, they kill Thanos in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was a turn.
It was pretty great, I'll admit. I appreciate that they actually did it too.
Poor
Yes.
fucker was just grabbing whatever the fucking things were fine, and I don't know what those were. They didn't look very appetizing though. But
So it just walks over, chops off his head. I went for the head.
just making dinner, gets his fucking cabin crashed, gets his fucking retirement cabin.
You ever create a
destroyed.
villain so bad they need to be killed twice?
I like how he went out both times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second time,
Yeah.
just sitting down
I-
looking on
I
It's
stats.
love the-
literally the same exact scene composition as how he ended Infinity War, where he just sits down on his perfect planet and just watches the sunset. And it's just the same exact framing, same movements of him just sitting down, and then he's dust.
You can watch and you can see like his generals, like the one mind guy, like Tuggerat guy is walking towards him as he turns to dust.
Stuff like that is why I'll never make money doing anything creative.
The guy and the girl are like one's down and they're holding each other as they turn to dust.
Yeah, Ken, I think it's fair to not compare yourself to the biggest multimedia franchise, quite possibly in history. I think that's
But then what are you doing?
It's a high bar, is what I'm saying.
It's like the ultimate, like, no you. I play my Uno reverse card of like, I'm going to just turn you to dust now. How does it feel, Thanos? It's karma.
Hmm.
And I like it.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers everything.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, and Falcon is Captain America now, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that guy. I like that
Does he
guy a
keep?
lot.
Will he keep his wings? That's all I care about.
Probably.
I hope
He
so.
needs to be. He needs to be Captain Falcon.
Could he?
That's
Could
not-
he become the American Eagle? Maybe.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that, and I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Because yeah.
Because like in the whole debate between Bucky and Falcon, like which one deserves it? Friendly reminder: Bucky murdered a lot of people, and
Yep.
also might still have some brainwashing left in him.
And is also kind of a broken person, just in general.
Also,
Yeah.
he's still of the opinion you should just murder a bunch of people. Which is, it gets things done, certainly. If you want an icon, probably not the best mindset to have.
Mm.
So Falcon was the better choice there,
I like Falcon.
and
I want
it
more
was like-
Falcon in the
Publicity,
films.
but
I like Falcon. On your left. Yeah.
Okay, now we done.
Now
Yeah, we're
There's a
done.
lot to unpack in this film.
We're done. It was 20 minutes of podcast and 40 minutes of
Close to an
Avengers.
hour. We're at an hour and 17 right now, and I think it was only like half an hour of show. Yep.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
we were all holding it in, so
it's fair. Yep. So, oh boy, it's an exhausting film to watch and to talk about, but satisfying one. So, that was the Fandom Flux podcast episode.
262. Patience Explained.
That's what I said. If you would like to get in contact with us and yell at me for not liking Thor's character arc being thrown away, then you can do so in the YouTube channel through the comments or through our own public Discord that is linked in the description. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. If you think that I was absolutely right and that they wasted an entire Shakespearean character arc for a character that I really like. Once again,
Care
thanks.
about your opinions too much.
Once again, thanks for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode 262. Bye, everybody.
bye.
see you guys.
Until next time.